here in a few weeks. All right. 26-man roster predictions. This is super hard because there's a lot of good players. There's a lot of good Orioles having good springs. This is not easy. I actually, when I started setting this up, I kind of lamented doing this because it's so hard because there's so many guys having good springs. 26 guys, you could carry as many as 13 pitchers. I don't think they're going to carry 13 pitchers considering you had 2 injuries as well. So I have 14 position players and 12 pitchers for the Orioles. Bradish is not here and Means is not here because they're definitely not going to be on the roster opening day. This is for the opening day roster. Bradish we might not have all year, and the Lord only knows what's going on with Means. I still haven't heard what the injury is anywhere. Please, somebody in the comments if they heard what the injury was. Definitely let me know what the injury was. Catcher, I think this is as rock solid as anything that they're going to do. Adley, the number 1 catcher, James McCann is going to back him up. No question here. Nothing here. Rushman, the only question is he an MVP candidate now? Can he go ahead and take that step? Now he's a rookie, all-star, best catcher probably in all of baseball. Can he be the best player in baseball? Can he carry the Orioles? How far can he evolve on that? McCann, I think, is as good as backup as we have in the league. I think he'd be starting on a lot of teams, honestly. The Orioles, I think, are likely to have it. The question is Adley going to catch as many games as he did last year? That's interesting because he played in, I only think he missed 10 games. So he was on days that he didn't play, he DH'd a lot. So we'll see about Adley there. Mountcastle is 1, O'Hearn is 2. People keep saying this is a platoon. I think this is still Mounty's job as well. I think O'Hearn is going to DH a lot. I don't think he's going to be steadily with Mounty. I don't think they're going to be sharing as much as I've heard. I don't really think Mounty is still your guy at first, and O'Hearn is going to go ahead and play DH. I think you will see O'Hearn at first, obviously, because he could play first base. He's definitely earned his spot after what he's done last year with that. Jackson Holiday at second base. We're going to talk a little bit more about Jackson, but Jackson has definitely earned it. Jackson has been very good in spring. Jackson's very good, period. His bat speed, his swing is fantastic. I don't think second base is the best spot for him because he's played shortstop throughout the minors. That happens. Guys playing the minors at short or catcher or whatever, and they get moved once you get to the big. Make a spot for him. I definitely think he's earned it. He's going to start at second base. Third base, Westberg. At third base, Ramon Urias. I do think this will be more sharing. This is really close. I think Westberg. I think if they were going to give him the everyday job, they probably should play him at second because he's better at second. Urias, this is interesting here. These guys, I think, are keeping the seat warm for Kobe Mayo. I don't think Mayo makes it quite yet, but I think these guys are going to be keeping the seat warm for him. I think this was the method to the madness. Mayo's been fantastic during the spring. Westberg, I think, is pretty good. I think he deserves, though, to start at the beginning of the year. Urias, seems like they're not going to trade him or cut him, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here in the next few days. It is possible to get rid of Urias. I think it's not possible. I think it's out of the realm. I think of the two, I think that's definitely possible here. Shortstop, Gunnar is going to start in Is going to start at shortstop this year. Jorge Mateo is going to back him up. I think Mateo is going to do what he's been doing, maybe a little less at shortstop. I think you'll see him. I thought the other day I saw him at second base, playing a little bit outfield, more of a utility guy. I think his roster spot is pretty secure. As a bench player, his skill set fits. That's why I think he's still here, as much as some fans get on Jorge Mateo and all that. But I think his skill set fits there. Left field, Austin Hayes, Colton Cowser made it. Austin Hayes, I think, is absolutely an all-star. Definitely shout out to him holding it off. Colton Cowser is putting on a show. Just putting on a show. I don't think there's been anybody. I think he's probably had the best spring I don't see any way you send him down after the spring he's had. I think he's probably on the verge of making it anyway. I think he's definitely earned it. I'm taking Colton Cowser. I think Austin Hayes. Interesting to see how much he plays though, because I don't know. I mean, again, we there's pretty loaded roster here, so I don't know how much he plays, but I definitely think he makes the roster out of spring. Cedric Mullins had a little bit of an injury. He's back. I think he's definitely center field. I think he's the only real center fielder. I think you'll see Cowser in center. I think you'll see Mateo in center. I think you'll see a couple guys in center, but I really think Cedric Mullins is in center there. Anthony Santander in right field. Cal Stowers. No way after the spring he's had, you're sending him down. I don't even always think that, but I don't see how. I don't see how if you're saying that this is a fair contest that you're going to send him to AAA. 7 home runs, 20. We'll talk about that Stowers, but Stowers has been fantastic. So definitely, I don't see how you send him down the way he's played. It wouldn't be right, and I don't think they're going to do that. I think it's pretty close between. I think Kerstad maybe had the inside track, but I think Kerstad's been good as well. But I don't see how. I don't see how you send him down after what he's done. This is pretty much etched in stone. Corbin Burns, Grayson Rodriguez, Dean Kramer, Tyler Wells, Cole Irvin. Bradish, nobody's saying it. Bradish might not have him this year with the UCL. You never know. Hopefully it heals. He can come back. He may need surgery. If you need surgery, you're not going to have him all year long. So that's tragic if that happens. Wells, we don't know what's going on. John Means, we don't know what's going on. We don't know. I'm assuming he'll be in the rotation at some point this year. Definitely. But won't be on the opening roster. He'll be on the IL. Bullpen, 7 guys. Very, very, very hard. Hard to leave Keegan Aiken off. Hard to leave Mike Crook off. Hard to leave some of these guys off. Lots of competition. Brian Baker not on here. So it's a lot of guys that are not going to make it necessarily. But I think these are the ones I'm predicting to make it. Craig Kimball, obviously, he's a lock. He's going to be your closer. Yadier Cano is going to be your 8th inning guy. Made the All-Star last year. Kalel Perez was the 8th inning guy the previous year. I think he was outstanding down the stretch. He's a lock-in. Danny Colombe, I thought you could argue he was almost as good as Cano last year. One of the best pitchers, most consistent middle reliever, so definitely he's locked in. Mike Baumann, I think, has earned it. I don't know why they're sending him down. He's been fantastic. You got a lot of competition, but Baumann's done nothing wrong. He's been great this spring. He's been great. I thought he was good last. I'm surprised that they're giving him this hard of a time that he's not a lot. Dylan Tate has been terrific during the spring. I think everybody forgot how good he was the year before. Didn't pitch at all last year. Pitching in the rotation this year. Dylan Tate has been pitching in the bullpen this year. I think he's there. Teran, I think, makes it. Definitely a guy you could put him in the bullpen. Best days probably behind him. I can say this: they gave up a lot to get him, so I'm kind of thinking that they're going to keep him. Definitely, he's a guy, especially with the rotation. I definitely think they want to keep one guy here in the majors ready for a rotation. I think he's your guy. So definitely, if it doesn't work out with Cole Irvin, if it doesn't work out with Tyler Wells, if it doesn't work out with those guys, you can definitely put him in the rotation immediately. Keep him on the roster. For sure, he signed with a different team if that was to happen. There you go. 26-man